So Civilization 7 has been announced, and at the moment of the recording of the video, it's around 6 months away from its release. But the question is this: while we wait for Civ 7, is it worth to get Civilization 6 and play it right now, or should you just ignore it and wait for the launch of Civilization 7? So let's answer this question. And if you want the short answer, you don't want to go through a few minutes of me mumbling about the game that probably most of you have played, the answer is absolutely yes. Civilization 6 is more than worth it to buy right now if you haven't bought it yet, because of its very cheap price and its very low barrier of entry, because the game is quite old already, plus because more than enough of people are playing this if you want to try it in multiplayer, and it's routinely in the top 20 of Steam's most played games. So if you want to try it right now, you can. But let's get deeper into that, and let's talk about numbers, and let's talk about different things of why Civilization 6 is actually worth playing or buying right now, even before Civilization 7 launches, or maybe even after that as well. And this video is sponsored by this channel's brand new sponsor, Instant Gaming. If you want to get best games for the cheapest prices, no matter it's on a PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo consoles, and you don't want to wait for any sales, Instant Gaming is the way to go. And I also partnered with Instant Gaming for epic giveaway of any game of your choice in the description down below. So click the link in the description to take part in there. And also, every purchase that you make on Instant Gaming through my link will help the channel as well. So click the link in the description to get the best games for the best prices. Now back to the video. So for the ones who doesn't know, Civ 6 is a classic 4X turn-based strategy game where you choose one of the many nations and play on a map divided into hexagonal grids. So basically kind of like a chess, where some grids are your city and some grids are different resources, different terrain, and where you need to move your armies and different people on this grid in a turn-based manner. It's as simple explanation as I can give it to you. But where the game truly shines is in its random nature. You see, choosing a nation is not deciding on what type of map you'll play, unless you play on a realistic world map. Because in the world of Civilization, you are choosing just the nation and the culture of your nation, not the technology and your location. Meaning that you can actually be the neighbors with almost any nation possible. And that's actually what gives it an insane replayable value. But that's true for all of the Civilization games. But what we want to answer to right now is, why is it worth to get Civ 6 right now and not wait for Civ 7? Well, first and the most important reason is the pricing. And yeah, usually it all returns to the money. You see, if you want to get Civilization 7 and if you want to play it day one, you need to shell out $70. Because yeah, even on the PC, 2K decided that $70 is more than fair price. And yeah, for many of you it might be. But if you're gonna really compare it with Civ 6 that you can get for around $3 on the deepest sales or on the websites like Instant Gaming, yeah, the comparison is not even close. $3 is more than 23 times cheaper. It doesn't mean that you're getting 23 times better game with the Civilization 7? Absolutely not. Maybe a few times better, but not 23 times better. And not just that, you can get an anthology edition which contains all of the DLCs of the game, and yeah, it has a lot of different DLCs and expansions. You can get it for as low as $20. And I'm absolutely sure that Civilization 7 will not launch with all the different nations that Civ 6 have. I'm 100% sure of that. So value-wise, Civilization 6 will be much better value for quite a while, even after Civ 7 will launch. Yeah, Civilization 7 might have some better features, not guaranteed, but might have, but the amount of content-wise and price-to-content ratio, Civilization 6 will be quite a good bargain for quite a while, even after Civ 7 will launch. The second reason why you should get Civ 6 right now is if you have a little bit of weaker PC. You see, strategy games are not easy to run, and as you progress through your game and as you go closer to an end game, it will be more and more difficult to run because it taxes your CPU quite a lot, and sometimes taxes your GPU as well. And Civ 7 will be much more demanding game than Civ 6, primarily because it's more modern game, and it also goes for much more realistic looks against a bit more cartoonish looks of Civ 6. So if you have a weaker PC, or if you want to run your game on a handheld, like for example Lenovo Legion Go or Steam Deck, Civ 6 will be much better deal for you. And trust me, running Civilization games on a handheld is quite a lot of fun, even though you sometimes need quite a lot of buttons, but yeah, it's quite manageable. And the last reason why it's important for the people to understand whether Civ 6 is actually worth it to buy right now or not is amount of players. You see, Civ 6 is not just a single player game, it's also a multiplayer game, and the fate of a multiplayer game is always decided by the number of players playing said game. And usually people avoid older games because yeah, they're kind of dying or dead. And in case of Civ 6, 6, yeah, it's very far away from that, and it will probably not die for really long time. I'm talking about years. Even right now, after the Civilization 7 has been announced, the game has steady 60 to 100,000 concurrent players all the time. And for the strategy games, it is way beyond more than enough. So you will never feel alone in the multiplayer matches, and you can enjoy the game as much as you want and play multiplayer as much as you want. And the last reason, and by far not the least, is that the Civ 6 is actually quite a good game. Yes, it's not a perfect game and it has some issues. And main issue lies with the 2K games, with their weird policies and weird license agreements and updating agreements and things like that I'm not going to get into. It sucks, and many people abandon the game because of this. But gameplay wise, this game is quite fun and much more polished than it was when it launched, especially if you're gonna get an anthology edition, because you're gonna get quite a lot of amazing nations to play with, and they're quite unique and quite fun to play. And not just that, you're also getting quite a lot of expansions that expand gameplay quite a lot. And it's also important to understand that this game is not easy. It's quite difficult and you will need quite a lot of time to understand what the game is all about. But contrary to the belief, game is not that difficult to get into. It's quite easy to start compared to other games of the similar kind. You will understand basic mechanics, very basic mechanics, allowing you to play and enjoy the game quite early on. But you will need quite a lot of time to actually fully understand the game and master it, especially for the multiplayer matches. Game is fun, game is easy to run, game looks quite okay-ish, to be fair. Yes, I myself also prefer realistic looks of Civ 7 and Civ 5, but yeah, it looks quite good as well. It has its own art style, and most importantly, it is quite cheap. So my overall answer is yes, get Civ 6 right now, and if you're watching this video even closer to the release of Civ 7 or even after it, it's still worth it if you're gonna find a good deal in the game while being on a Steam sale or getting through websites like Instant Gaming. And it's quite worth to get it. I'm pretty sure it will be for a few months to a few years after Civ 7 will actually release. And if you want to watch my actual review of Civ 6, you can watch it right here. And if you like strategy games and want to watch my list of 27 best strategy games, you can watch it right here as well. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe right here as well. This is the video for today, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.